Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with another unboxing, another offline gaming experience. This is Ghost of Tsushima, the Director's Cut for the PlayStation 4, but please keep in mind this was played on my PlayStation 4 Pro. To jump right into it, this Director's Cut version comes with the update version 2.00 already on disc, as well as it does come with the Iki Island expansion already on disc as well. Sadly though, there was a massive size update available. This update size was 8.3 gigabytes big and will take you to version 2.07 since the time I'm making this video. Now this update just says it's bug fixes. I did play the entire game without this update. I just played the base version 2.00 and without ever connecting to the internet, and I didn't experience any massive game-breaking bugs or anything that prevented me from progressing through the Iki Island expansion. I did have some minor hiccups and bugs and NPCs and enemies acting weird, as well as that I did have it happen once, but I did have the game massively hard crash my PlayStation 4 to all the way to it shut itself off, and I had to turn it back on and had to do a whole reboot itself back up. Luckily no save date or anything got corrupted because of it, but it is noteworthy. As I said though, this does come with the update version 2.00, so it does have a slew of other features than just the Iki Island expansion. It has the newer higher difficulty, lethal difficulty. It does have some buttons alterations here and there. It has the ability to lock on onto enemies and stuff. It just adds a bunch of stuff like New Game Plus and so on. As well, I wanted to immediate mention, I did play the vanilla version 1.00. My save file did transfer over to this Director's Cut, so you do not need to start over if you are playing with the correct region. When I say that, I do want to clarify that just because my save file transfer over sometimes saves if you're from a different region, let's say you had the American version, the vanilla version, and then you buy the PAL version of the Director's Cut version, sometimes save files don't transfer over with that. So my American version vanilla transferred over to the American version of Director's Cut. That's the only thing I can confirm in that area. So, luckily, that was very nice. I was able to just immediately jump into Iki's Island. I fully completed it and beat it, and I rather enjoyed it. It was a nice experience overall. I did enjoy the smaller environment. As I did mention this, I'm not a fan of huge open worlds. I do enjoy open worlds. I just like them smaller and smaller pieces, like something like Arkham Asylum. And I just like the Iki Island exploration. Now, the Iki Island expansion isn't ultimately a necessary part of your experience, as it doesn't really add ultimately anything to the overall game, but it just gives you a little bit more depth about Jin Sakai and about his just past and about his mother and his father, and just get a little bit more information about the main character, which was nice. Though I didn't really care too much for the main villain, the Eagle Witch, if you will, and I didn't like to care too much for the hallucinations that you were getting through the game. I don't know, it just didn't really mesh well with me in terms of the experience, and it really didn't make sense sometimes. It just felt more like fantasy or sci-fi at times. Just it seemed a little on the magical side than the grounded Earth reality that Ghost of Tsushima is somewhat trying to convey within it. It's not supposed to be historically accurate, but it just felt like they were trying to be grounded and realistic, and the hallucination thing didn't seem very realistic to me. But overall, the game did add some things that I did enjoy. I did like the exploration and looking for the animals. I thought that was a little bit more funner than the Foxes, where you had a song you can play, and you can play for a deer, a monkey, and a cat, and it has a little bit more different kind of style music playing with your flute. But I can't say I really ultimately enjoyed the mechanics of it. You just kind of tilt your controller up and down and try to stay within rhythm of the song, and I think they could have done a little better job with that. Still, the quests, like I said in the vanilla version, are kind of rinse and repeat. They can be summarized in 3 parts. You investigate location, follow tracks to new location, and kill enemies at that new location. This is still rinse and repeated even in this, so the quests are not anything ultimately interesting, and rinse and, again, carbon copy of every other quest, but again, they weren't unfun to do. But that doesn't mean I give them a free pass just because I still had fun doing them, but doesn't mean they should get a free pass on it. It is kind of lazy and just noticeable that they were just copying constantly. Overall story, like the overall story of the game, isn't ultimately anything I found interesting, but it still was fun, and I did enjoy the overall experience with the characters, the music, the environment, the gameplay. Again, it's a huge open world game. I at some points I was getting bored with it and just losing interest, and I was just trying to hurry up and beat it so I can get this video out. As again, I'm just not a fan of huge open world games. They don't ultimately interest me. But I still love the haiku moments. I love the hot spring moments. I love those like moments where it's just a calming, easy rest moment in the game. I don't know why. I just love those inner self turmoil where you're doing some self-reflection and the characters are delving into it and trying to grow and learn themselves. I always love those kind of mechanics in games and just overall character development. But in the end, the director's cut version was a pretty darn good version. I am disappointed though, it's largely outdated already, and I don't know nothing about the PlayStation 5 version, what's on the disc, and if it's the same like the PlayStation 4 version here. I would assume it's the same, but as we all know, the dangers of assuming, as well as that we've had history of like Mortal Kombat 11, where the PlayStation 5 was the inferior version of the same game on the PlayStation 4. I'm not saying anything because I said I can't confirm anything myself, but it is something I need to point out, that the only thing I know is the PlayStation 4 version and what it is available on the PlayStation 4 version. I will try to cover the PS5 version whenever I can get my hands on a PlayStation 5 down the road. I don't know if we'll get another updated version of the game, like the Complete Edition or something like that, as the director's cut seems very final to me. Unless we get like a PlayStation 7 or something like that, and then they'll re-release it called a remastered version of the game. Then we might actually have every update and stuff on the disc. So I am disappointed in PlayStation for immediately rushing this physical copy out the door, as it would have been nice if they probably just delayed it and just try to include 2 discs and have every kind of DLC and content on the disc, like all the pre-order bonuses and outfits and stuff, because I don't think that was unavailable. I couldn't find any way to access newer outfits, but in the end, it's well worth your time. If you're somebody who didn't buy the vanilla version like I did, it's well worth your time to pick up this version and check it out. I am a little upset though, they're charging this a full price game, the director's cut version. I don't know if I approve of this. That seemed a little shady, Sony. But down the road, the prices will drop, and I'm sure you can pick it up later. But again, this is just my personal views of Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. I definitely say look into it or pick it up if you're a fan of these kind of games. Open world exploration, story driven, and just overall just a realistic presentation of the game. Very well done. Like always, I'll try to leave links down in the description if you're instant copying. Definitely check it out if you're interested. And I'll see you guys on the next unboxing video. Bye bye!